Reality. What actually is it? And how many are there? And to what degree can we slip between them? Reality is one of the things I'm exploring in this nomadic life. The scope and limits of it. The scope and limit of human perception and our ability to break free, not only of mainstream societal expectations, but also from the limits of our own mind. I've always felt disconnected from mainstream reality. From my earliest childhood memories, I've had one foot in this earthly realm, but my mind, heart, and soul are somewhere else. And most of the time, this other reality is where I prefer to be. My vessel to get to this other place has always been the natural world. Sunrises, sunsets, the fragrance of trees, and marveling at the night sky. If I'm honest, having a foot in two worlds has made living here on Earth very difficult. I could spend a lifetime immersed in conceptualizing creation, wisdom, power, purpose, meaning, the nature of evil, and the nature of integrity. Yet, I struggle to cook a proper meal. Now, my ego would like you to know, I can cook a proper meal, thank you very much. But if I had it my way, I would be free of the need to, and instead, I would dedicate all of my conscious experience to feeding consciousness itself. And I'd ponder, and I'd marvel, and my entire life would be a prayer. This is why I'm a nomad. But here I am, in a body that is wired with physical needs, in a Western culture, living in the Southwest in 2024. And each day, my body feels fear, my mind feels pressure, my heart feels longing. But my soul knows the peace and the truth of this other place. This place that I can access more frequently in the nomadic life.
We are totally gonna get rained on. We already are totally getting rained on. It's raining in the sun. Do you see how the sun is hitting me?
So how does this all relate to the RV and to living in a car? Well, I didn't sell my RV, and I've taken her off the market. For nearly a month, I found myself caught in the grip of sheer willpower, determined to force a sale. I lowered the price beyond what was reasonable, and I nearly made trades at a distance that were too far to sensibly travel at this time. During those weeks, I became consumed in a single focus, a compulsion to rid myself of the suffering tied to the RV, the mice, the costs, the constant uncertainty of what might break next. The presence of those mice disrupted every corner of my life, and the threat of hantavirus demanded my immediate attention, leading to pest control expenses that I resented. I was enveloped in what the Buddha might call aversion, or what the great sages would have referred to as being lost in the wilderness of temptation. I wasn't thinking clearly. I was possessed by a singular desire, disconnected from the core values that usually guide my decisions, especially those as significant as where or what I call home. Somehow, in the midst of burning, I realized that I had slipped into a reality I don't want to live in. My entire life, both personally and professionally, is dedicated to cultivating wise decisions aligned with life's purpose. Yet, here I was engulfed in the flames of my own forced will. But in the heat of my own will, something shifted just in time before I made a decision I'd soon regret. The truth is, this RV has been a mirror, reflecting back my own depth and limitations. It has pushed me to the edge where my emotions surge like a relentless tide. Over the past year, the roller coaster of emotions wore me down until I couldn't see the RV or my own preferences clearly. Instead, I've found myself wrestling with indecision itself. I nearly sold this rig in an effort to escape the storm of uncertainty within me. Indecision is new to me. Most of my challenges in life have been a result of impatience, not uncertainty. And while impatience is not a virtue, it has ironically served me well. For example, through impatience, I'd dive headfirst into risk in order to embrace a life well lived before I'd lose the courage. Through impatience, I've been effective at swift problem solving, productive at work, and efficient in crisis. I have been decisive. However, impatience has led me to rush through experience, causing me to miss the magic of the present moment. In my haste, I've overlooked opportunities for deeper understanding and brought myself unnecessary stress by resisting the natural timing of life's unfolding. This RV has tested my resolve and has demanded my evolution. I don't know how long I'll have the RV, but I do know this. Avoiding discomfort impulsively is not the reality I want to live in. For now, I'm not ready to let her go. After all, I have loved her as much as I have loathed the struggles. Who knew that an old vintage RV would be far more than a home on wheels? That she would be a mirror into my psyche, a blessed sanctuary that has unearthed shadows within my own mind and heart. I have more to learn with this old clunky gal. So, between now and forever, no matter if she and I are together, I will celebrate her magic and her mystery. Come check out some of the colorful changes we've made to her interior. Welcome! I'm in very colorful, decorative attire, and that's because I wanted to match Clunk. It is pretty, it is gorgeous, it inspires this lovely, incredible feminine essence. So come on in and check out my genie bottle on wheels. Previously, my rig was black and white, and I thought that's really beautiful. In fact, once winter rolls around, I'm gonna do the black, white, and pink theme again. I think it's a lovely, lovely design specifically for the winter months. It is a cold palette, and typically, my whole life I've designed with a warm palette. Right here, we have a beautiful aesthetic doggy. She is the most important part of this entire rig, the most important part of all design, and she fits right in with everything. I got this gorgeous tablecloth from Ross. This gorgeous doggy here made these cushions so dirty that I needed something that could come off. As you can see, it's sort of this elasticy thingy that ties in the back, and I can take it off and I can wash it. Plus, it is liquid resistant. These two pillows I got for a grand total of $2 at Goodwill. Tablecloth is from Ross for $11. Those back pillows, they're something I had for a really long time. I've also got a carbon monoxide detector here. Beautiful, glamorous, sparkly cup thingies. I don't know what those are called, cup holders. And of course, a gorgeous mesa right outside the window. Man, I'm blessed. Let me bring you on over here. I got another flower from Hobby Lobby before I had the white one covering here, but I thought a pop of color would be nice. Plus, it's sunflower season. This is probably my favorite art piece of all time because it captures the essence of my soul. All the beautiful decorative tiles, dollar store, put them on, painted them. Heart, because the heart is the best thing. Flower, because that wall is messed up and needed something right there. I am gonna have to clean this window with vinegar. The dirtiness that you see is on the outside. It's probably something like 32 years of grime. And I'm gonna see if I can scrub it off with vinegar because even after intense monsoon rains, it did not clean itself. But I need a ladder for that. So up here's my lovely lounge. I absolutely love lounging up here, reading a good book. The loft is very nice. Welcome to the kitchen. This looks almost identical. I did test out changing these shelf liners that pad the top of the kitchen counter. I bought a white thing, basically white of this, and I cut them to size and it did not look good. It looked really weird. So the black stayed, And the kitchen practically looks the same. The only difference is this lovely yellow flower. I still have the white one that I've used, but this is gorgeous and just ties in that lovely pop of color. See how there's yellow behind me on the bed? Yellow, pink, blue, gorgeousness. I gotta share something I bought. I bought this full price at Hobby Lobby. I rarely buy things full price because I'm a thrifter, but this was so cute. The little animals of the forest, and I also had a reconciliation with the mice when I saw them on here. Even though they're not welcome in my RV, we all must coexist in the forest together. So as long as they stay out, then I can appreciate them on my towel. But I just thought that was so cute. And I do love all the little critters of the forest. By the way, something significant that I changed were these. Those are beautiful contact paper. I didn't cover what I had. What was there before is still right there. So whenever I want to go back and change my decor again, I can just flip them around, which is nice. This is just a nice little artistic shelf. I've got Kuan Yin. She is the goddess of compassion. So little ways I brought in more color. These were black before, so when I bring in the black and white design, I've got lovely black flowers. But in the meantime, I've got these guys. I also made my bed smaller. I have memory foam, so I can chop it up with a turkey cutter. So I cut it, as you can see, there's sort of this interesting angle. It's not 90-degree angles. You just cut that with a turkey cutter. I made my bed smaller so that I have more space to walk around the bed itself. By the way, I've got a couple power stations here. So I took this from my car, and it acts as both something prettier to tie in the color. That is my Verizon hotspot. This is my gift from Clunk. I'll tell you more about that later. This is a little power station, really fantastic. Another power station under there. This was really, really, really ugly, and I'm surprised it took me a year to cover that up. And I don't love what I did here. That's contact paper, but it looks way better than what it was before, which was ugly old carpet. I also brought in lovely blue curtains. These are $9.99 at Walmart, you guys, for 63-inch curtains. So for $30 for this room, essentially, maybe $35 after tax, I got new dark blue curtains, light blue, and light blue. So it was totally worth $30 for a nice, bright summer aesthetic. You'll see that I also brought the contact paper up here, which is really nice. In hindsight, this decorative rope across the top, which is acting as crown molding with just the black and white design theme, it's gorgeous. I kind of am thinking maybe white decorative rope would be more appropriate to flow better with lots of color options. This is a tablecloth that I got at Goodwill for 50 cents. That is an incredible deal. How perfect does it fit right there? I found these clips to hold back my curtains for $9 on Amazon. And I finally designed this wall. I wanted to bring in the same sort of wallpaper tile, gorgeous tile for both texture and beauty. I have to fix that. That's driving me nuts. I have been waiting to film this until I fix it, but then I am like, oh, I gotta get a video out. So I'm showing you what it looks like before it's fixed. But this is beautiful. These little guys are from Hobby Lobby. I love that there's kind of an autumn theme in this rig. Let me show you what else I did. So before, as an old vintage RV, the plate covering this light switch was just broke, and it was like a hole in the wall. So I got these little rocks from the dollar store, and I hot glued them all around. And so now it's a nice textured cover that just kind of flows. And then there again, we have the most important part of the rig, which is the little cattle dog lounging in the beautiful booth. The bathroom looks the same. oddly wrinkled, which really show up in the camera. Those are wrinkled too. The thing is when you scrunch these to open them up and you scrunch them, they get really wrinkled. I'm probably going to do something more space efficient in here, like build a custom storage table that looks beautiful. Thought I'd share the beautiful rugs. We've got just some blue $10 rugs from Walmart, and then this rug I think was $19.99 from Walmart. And the green was sort of a perfect tie-in to the green of the booth covers.
Now I'd like to share today's video sponsor, VTOMAN. VTOMAN, V-T-O-M-A-N. I always need power. All right, we got VTOMAN, that's right. Thank you so much for the opportunity to partner together. Check this out. We got the cords. This 1500 watt-hour power station can charge to a full charge in an hour. Let's put it to the test. Let's go check this out. I'm so excited.
This power station went from 84% to 100% in 7 minutes.
It's the Flash Speed 1500.
It has 4 USB outlets, 2 USB-C outlets. Here is where you can input 1500 watts of power to make this the Flash Speed 1500. You can also charge it with a DC input of 200 watts or a solar input of 400 watts. Here we have a DC 12 volt port and 2 DC output ports, 3 AC ports, and it's a pure sine wave inverter.
This is so powerful, it can jump your car if needed. It can bring in almost 1700 watts of power when it is charging from an AC outlet. That's incredible. Anybody who knows power stations knows that's incredible. This has a lovely, lovely design. It is so important to be able to store things flat. And the fact that this can lift up and inside, all of its cables can go in here. That also is incredibly convenient. The engineers of this, the design engineers, really thought through what was going to be efficient product use. This can charge my fridge. This can charge my phone multiple times. This will allow me to heat water in my water kettle. This will allow me to work from the road. I mean, the sheer volume of power in this is incredible. I'm about to go on a 1,500-mile car camping trip. This is going to be my main source of power. Here, this bad boy is. Perfect location to charge up my fridge. One of the things that I am the most excited about with this, hold on, where'd Chloe go? Chloe saw me in the car, even just filming a video, and she's like, oh, if you're in the car, I need to be in the car too. Isn't that right, baby girl? I love that with this power station, I could go into a laundromat or a cafe for just 1 hour. I could have a nice relaxing break from driving, a nice relaxing time off the road for 1 hour and get a full charge on a 1,500 watt-hour power station. I know I keep mentioning that, it's just that's a really big deal. That's why I was so excited to partner with VTOMAN specifically for this product. So I can't wait to see how it works. I'll definitely let you guys know in the future how things are going with it. And if you are interested in checking this product out for yourself, check out the links in my description below. I ended last video asking who was Team RV, Team Van, or Team Clunk. And definitely, by far, the most people were Team Van. So what I'll share is for those who are Team Van, you won't be disappointed. It just is going to take some time. Because another thing that I realized is I do not want to sell the RV before I have another comfortable rig. And I literally was living in this rig as I renovated it, and my life was utter chaos. In fact, the stress and the chaos from that whole experience, I think, is part of the reason why I had this aversion to continue chaos in my life, because generally I don't mind chaos. The positive side of chaos is freedom and spontaneity. But of course, chaos is the shadow of all of that. And I really wore out of chaos. When I was displaced by those mice and I was living out of the car and really aiming to work productively, my work was impacted and it was so incredibly stressful. So that's another practical reason that I need to keep the RV at this time. I have learned so much in this past month, both about myself, about my psyche, about the nature of the RV reality, because that's its own reality. Yeah. I always am gonna need a second home. Little Red was my second home, and thank goodness I had it for the 5 weeks that I could not be in this rig as I had the mice issue. Sure, I could have moved back into the rig while the mice were still in here. I didn't want to do that. 2 people died this year from hantavirus with mice in Coconino County where I live. And I'm OCD and I don't want to live with hantavirus around me. So I had to go live in my car while I was figuring out the mouse problem. And by the way, you guys, at the same time of the mouse problem, one of the reasons I was in such aversion is my fridge broke. And I also was dealing with a broken door handle that required I crawl out the front and couldn't leave my side door. That cost me over $500 and took me 5 months for a door handle. How could I have ever fathomed in my life? I've changed door handles in homes and rentals before. It was the easiest thing in the world and it cost like anywhere between $50 to $70. $500 in 5 months for a door handle. So it was like the culmination of all of these things led me to this aversion and wanting to get rid of Clunk. I'm really glad I slowed down because I do love it. I do. And it's one of those both and things. I love it. And it's one of the most difficult things in my life. I love it and it stretched me to my limits of sanity. And I also would like to keep growing in the way that only an old clunky, constantly breaking vintage RV can require I stretch myself. And eventually I may come to the place where it's no longer worth it. I was almost there, which is why I almost sold. And you know, another truth. I had wanted this RV and me to have this like incredible relationship like a cowgirl and her horse. And we kind of do, but it's more of like a really dysfunctional relationship. And I don't want that. You know, I prefer a healthy one. I would love to just love the RV without having the extreme roller coaster emotions of simultaneously hating parts of this. Stick around because those who are team van, I'm saving up for an affordable van. I would like a minivan with comparable specs to Little Red. I could hop in Little Red tomorrow and drive her to Alaska. I could hop in Little Red tomorrow and drive to Maine. That's how good of condition she's in. She is a 2013 Nissan Sentra with 154,000 miles, and I'm looking for a comparable quality minivan to that. And I would love to build out a minivan. I love Little Red, but with Chloe, I would like something a bit more comfortable with a little bit more space than Little Red has for us to have as a second home, is our traveling camping mobile. And it's just going to take some time because I put all my money into this. So emergency fund and savings all came into old Clunk. And I'm going to have to start saving for the next adventure rig, but it's on its way. I'll be a nomad forever. And I already feel a mending of this relationship with this RV. Clunk and I really did have a heart-to-heart. I had to let her know I will commit. I won't be so flippant. And she said she welcomes me back. This is from Clunk. I was a little embarrassed to share all of this with you, my change of heart, my indecision, because my identity is very, you know, wrapped up in this aspect of myself who's so decisive, so straightforward, so just boom, to the point, get stuff done. I now have more empathy for folks who do struggle with indecision and uncertainty, and it's really good to have empathy for how hard indecision can be.
Thanks for watching. To follow our adventures, like, comment, turn on that notification bell, and subscribe.